Hong Kong activist. Joshua, appreciate your time. This really is a historic day for the territory, but we spoke to Patrick Falk a little bit earlier. He gave us more details about what that security law is actually going to entail, saying that it may be reassuring in some aspects because that law will be integrated into Hong Kong's legal system. Do you feel the same way?
That's the nightmare of Hong Kong and how the implementation of the national security law just eroded the principle of one country, two system according to the joint declaration to the framework of one country, one system. Especially in the upcoming future, I might not be jailed in Hong Kong's prison anymore, and I or other fellow dissidents or activists might be jailed in China. And we might need to face the prosecution not take place in this global city with judicial independence, but the prosecution or trial might take place in mainland China.
Joshua, are you concerned that you will be arrested?
As the one who have been arrested for 8 times, it's not surprise for Hong Kong police to arrest me. But according to the implementation of this national security law, it might recommended secret police appointed by Beijing, they could be authorized to arrest people as they hope in Hong Kong, and which has turned Hong Kong to not be a global city anymore, and it's just a city to be the next Xinjiang or Tibet.
Joshua, just take us through what the security law means for the anti-Beijing movements. I mean, protests have been continuing since last week. They're expected over the next few days. Are those going to go ahead, or is there real fear that there will be more arrests, especially considering that new law is going to be rubber-stamped today?
Since the crackdown on protests start from last summer, the number of arrested people is more than 8,000 already, which is more than the number of inmates in Hong Kong's prison. And the totalitarian regime crackdown, which really imply how they hope to silence the voice of dissidents. But not only youngsters, even elderlies, lots of Hong Kongers are ready to fight back. We hope to let Beijing know that kowtow to China should not be the only way out.
Joshua, you've also tweeted that you believe the U.S. Secretary of State saying that Hong Kong's autonomy has been undermined by China and doesn't merit special status from the U.S. is actually a sensible move from Washington. Why do you believe that?
We all realize it's Hong Kong one country, two system being eroded. Of course, UK still take a quite passive position, but no doubt at all how the erosion on Hong Kong's autonomy will just result in more backfire, especially actions speak louder than words. And we urge U.S. government, especially President Trump, could echo on the suggestion of Secretary Pompeo to implement Hong Kong Human Rights and Democracy Act, enhance the sanction mechanism, put pressure on China with those fellow red capitals businessmen and pro-Beijing politicians.
But Joshua, surely what's happening now with the U.S. And their strong words against what's happening in Hong Kong, the people most affected are going to be people living in Hong Kong.
That's why Hong Kongers are expecting partial sanction to focus on red capital instead of directly cancel the separate treatment to Hong Kong SAR. I think it will be a bit different because, as my understanding, even United States or Washington will impose some of the new arrangement to Hong Kong. It will not affect the student visa or travel visa of general public travel to United States or etc.
Okay, Joshua Wong live to us there from Hong Kong. Really appreciate your time and your reaction.